Okay, and so hey YouTube. Today we're gonna be looking at this is Darkbyte. Wait, yeah, it's Darkbyte. Yeah, I forgot that bit. Alright, who cares? Alright, well it's Darkbyte here, and today we're gonna be looking at parameters in functions. So what the heck's a parameter? So can you see this thing? This is a parameter, and it's basically stuff that has to be inputted. So data that has to be inputted into the function for it to work. Now, say we create a function, so we're just going to create a nice little private function since we're only going to be using it in here. So private static void. Oh yeah, I'm going to explain static as well. So static is basically a keyword that means that there can only be one instance of it. So say you're not going to create object of it. So say it's something like the main class, where you're not going to have like loads of mains. You're only going to have one main class. That's why you would have lots of static methods in here, because you're not going to create an objective method. Like, say I have a car class, I'm going to have lots of different cars, so I'm going to create non-static methods, or dynamic methods. So those are going to be able to run multiple, they're going to be able to run like that, but they're going to be able to run on different instances. So I could create car1, and then I would call car1 dot, like, whatever, instead of just calling car. So I would create a car object, so I would call like car1, and then I would call like a car dot like dot drive or something, dot drive. So I'd call something like that. But if I just had this main method, then instead of that I would just call it directly from the main method. So I'd call like directly main dot main whatever. So I'd call that. Pretty easy. Okay, so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to create this private static void, and I'm going to call it you know what? I'm going to call it calculate numbers. Calculate numbers. So this is basically just going to calculate two integer numbers. So I'm going to create int a and int b. So to have multiple parameters, you just got to put a colon in between. So all I do is I create two temporary variables, and then I go, so then I would go sys out a plus b. So now if I go calculate numbers, so I can call this, and then it'll give me an error here because it's asking me for two numbers. So now I have to add two arguments. So I could add 15 and 75. So now I add these together and it'll give me 90. So that's the right answer. So you can do this for a load of different things. Now I was talking about these kind of number methods. Now I'm pretty sure they're called number functions or something. But say we wanted to create some like private static int. So I'd create private static int, and then I'd call calculate numbers again. But this time I'm going to have three different So I'm going to have int a. I'm going to have floats this time. Actually, yeah, I'll have floats. So float a, float b, and then string operator. So this is our calculator, but just made a lot smaller. So here we go, and then we're gonna have float answer. So what we're gonna do is now we're gonna go if. So we're gonna have a switch actually. Yeah, we're gonna have switch operator, and then we're gonna have a load of cases. So we're gonna have case plus, and then break, and then we're just going to copy and paste these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then say someone puts in a dumb answer, then we're just going to go and make a default for that. So say default, and then we're going to go modulus, divide. Oh yeah, I forgot to explain the modulus to you. So the modulus is basically something that's used to find the remainder, just in case I forgot to tell you guys that. Alright, so here we go. Now we're going to go, okay, answer is equal to a plus b, and I'm just going to copy this, and I'm going to change this up a bit every time. A minus b, a multiplied by b, a divided by b, and a modulus b. Now you might be wondering why I haven't just returned for each of these. It's because it would give me an error saying that there's unreachable code, because obviously it wouldn't do this code, and it would just, you know, straight up do whatever else. And sometimes that's not a bad thing, but most of the time that's not a good thing. So a answer is equal to 0 here, and then what we're going to do is you're just going to return answer. And what this does is it basically just ends it and returns the answer straight at the end. Ah, yes, this is meant to be a float then. Alright then. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to sys out, and we're going to go calculate numbers. So this is running code, but it's also a number. It's the thing. So I'm going to go 12, 15, and I'm going to go, I'm going to times them together. So now it's going to return to me 12 times 15, 180. Perfect. Alright. So now what we can do is we're going to assign a value to this. So we're going to go no, we're going to make a float. We're going to call this float random number thing is equal to calculate number is equal to calculate numbers. Alright, so we're going to calculate 18 and 51, and we're going to divide them for some reason because we feel like it. Then we're also going to make float other number, and we're going to set that to calculate numbers 21 and 46, and we're going to subtract them. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go sys out, and we're going to make a new calculation, and we're going to go and calculate numbers. So we're going to call this function a lot of times, and we're going to call random number thing, and we're going to call other number, and then we're going to multiply them together. Alright, so I'm not sure what the answer is going to be, but it's minus 8.823529. Alright, so we got a perfectly random answer. I'm pretty sure the Ogre Lord would approve, so everything's good. So I'll see you guys next time.